Hi students, welcome to Easy Elimu Learning Simplified. My name is Mbive, and in today's session we are going to learn about intonation, rising intonation, falling intonation. We will define what intonation is and also have a look at different sentences, different instances where rising intonation is used or falling intonation is used, and we'll also learn about the symbol that is used to symbolize rising intonation or falling intonation. So when somebody is speaking, you will realize that at some point their voice rises, at another point their voice goes down or falls. So that rising and falling of voice is called intonation. And different intonations can give us different meanings or attitudes or emotions that are being communicated. Emotions like anger, sadness, surprise, happiness, disinterest, or even interest. So let us read a sentence. You enjoy reading. You enjoy reading. If I am saying this as a statement to you, you enjoy reading, my voice will rise at the word enjoy because it is the focus of that statement. So you enjoy reading. Now, if you say that statement to me and I repeat it to you as a question, so you say, I enjoy reading. And then I repeat it by asking, you enjoy reading? You enjoy reading? You realize that I say it, and as I say it, my voice is rising because I am surprised. So we can say that rising intonation is used to express surprise. So you enjoy reading, my voice has risen. So that is a rising intonation. So one thing about intonation is that it helps us differentiate or distinguish questions, statements, exclamation, command, and even requests. So before we go on, let us have a look at the different types of intonation and the symbols that are used when describing them. So you can see them on your screen. We have the falling intonation that is symbolized by an arrow that is facing down. We have rising intonation symbolized by an arrow that is facing up. We have the fall rise intonation. So you start with the symbol for the falling intonation, which is an arrow pointing down and another one pointing up. So it is fall and then rise. And then we have the rise fall intonation. So you can see the arrow facing up and then down, that is it is rise and then fall. And lastly, we have the neutral, which is just a straight arrow. So these are the different types of intonation, first of all, and the symbols that are used to symbolize them. So we will look at them one by one. The first one is the falling intonation. Falling intonation is used to ask for and provide information. So if you're asking for something or you're giving information to somebody, you use the falling intonation. And so when you see when your voice falls at the end of a sentence, it signifies that you have finished talking. For example, we will leave in the morning. That is a statement. We will leave in the morning. Maggie sells bags and clothes. So if you listen to me keenly, you can see that at the end, my voice goes down. That is falling intonation. We can also use falling intonation with WH questions. For example, why did you break my pencil? Or who invited you? Where are you going? You can see towards the end, my voice falls. That is, this is how we use the falling intonation. We also use the falling intonation when we are giving commands. For example, come here or stop that or leave the room immediately. We also use falling intonation with exclamatory sentences. Oh, what a beautiful baby. Amazing pictures. We also use the falling intonation with requests. For example, may I go out? Can I join you in this trip? So if you listen, you can see my voice starts rising and then falls. Lastly, we also use the falling intonation with question tags, but where the speaker is sure of the information and is simply seeking clarification. So when you're sure of whatever information that you're saying and it is a question tag, then you use falling intonation. For example, she is the best choice for the job, isn't she? So you know she is the best choice. You just want confirmation. Kazo speaks English fluently, doesn't she? Let us now proceed to the rising intonation, and it can be used in the general yes or no questions. For example, are you hungry? Have the children arrived? My voice is rising. Rising intonation is also used to echo utterances. So for example, if I tell you something and then I repeat it in form of a question just to seek clarification. For example, you tell me, I am going to town. And then I ask you, you are going to town. Can you hear my voice has risen? Or we should tell them. And then I ask, you think we should tell them? So when you repeat something that has been said, you repeat it as a question just to seek clarification from the speaker. We use the rising intonation. Lastly, the rising intonation is also used in WH questions that seek clarification on something that somebody has said. For example, somebody tells you something and you say, what did you just say? Or what was that again? That is rising intonation. We also use rising intonation when to ask questions that express surprise or disbelief. For example, I come and tell you we had an accident. Then you're surprised and you asked, what happened? That is rising intonation. We also have the fall rise intonation, which is used to show uncertainty. It is mainly used in question tags where the speaker is not sure of the information in the statement. So I may say something, but I am not sure. So we use the fall rise intonation. For example, this is a bird, isn't it? So my intonation first falls and then rises. This is a bird, isn't it? So when it is a question tag where the speaker is not sure of the statement, we use the fall rise intonation. And lastly, we have the rise fall intonation. So your intonation first rises, then falls. We use it in different instances. For example, in questions that offer choices. If I ask you, would you like tea or coffee? Should I continue reading a novel or switch to a magazine? Here, I use the rise fall intonation. So my intonation first rises and then falls. Would you like tea or coffee? If you listen to me keenly, you can see when I say the word tea, my intonation has risen, and then when I go to coffee, it falls. The rise fall intonation is also used when a series or a list of things is being said or is being read. The intonation rises with each item and falls on the last item to indicate that the list has ended. For example, make sure you buy pens, pencils, sharpeners, and exercise books. We need sacrifice, focus, and commitment for this project to succeed. So you start, as you're reading the list, your intonation is rising, and then at the last item, it falls to indicate that that list has ended or the list is over. So that's it for intonation. I hope you have understood and you're now able to distinguish the different types of intonation. You know their symbols, and you can be able to read a statement or listen to somebody talking, and you know which intonation it is, if it is rising, falling, or rise, fall, or fall, rise. For further practice, you can have a look at the quiz. Read the following sentences loudly with the correct intonation. Pay attention to the instructions in the brackets. So you can read them and indicate which intonation it is. And some of them have some instructions in the brackets that are going to guide you. So you can attempt that quiz and see if you will understand. Thank you for tuning in, and see you in the next session.